So, we hear all these sayings like fail your way forward and it's okay to fail and all that. But one of the things that people really don't talk about with failure versus success is how inside failure, we actually typically stop to reflect and learn way more than we do if we just succeed at something.
Well, I would say typically yes, if we are pausing and reflect. Not everybody does.
True.
So for those of us that learn from our failures, not everybody does. That is the way we do it, right?
Yeah.
We take a moment, we're like, oh, well, that didn't work. Let me try something new. Where did that go wrong? What could I have done differently?
Yeah. Well, I just think it's so important, especially for us in the real estate industry, that we embrace this whole thing of failure. Like, things are changing so quickly around us, markets are shifting, and we oftentimes can just get stuck trying to be perfect at everything or getting mad that we're not succeeding. And when in fact, like, failure is actually teaching us more than when we're actually doing something right.
Yeah, I was going to say, so a lot of times I've consulted with a ton of different agents over the years and heard different agents speak from stage, and I'm sure I've been there myself, and the scariest thing or the biggest trap is success. Mm-hmm. Like, you start having success, especially over and above where you were, and then all of a sudden you think everything you're doing is right. I see so many people who think what they're doing is right, and what they've missed is the fact that they actually, if they pause and reflect the same way we did when we fail, might actually be kicking our own ass to where, where might be blowing away what we're currently doing, even though it feels really good.
Yeah, I mean, I reflect back to you and I when we first expanded our real estate sales business outside of Phoenix, Arizona, right? And we went into Denver, Colorado.
Worst thing that ever happened to us was how
we partnered with an amazing gentleman by the name of Aaron Lebovic, who still works with us today, some 5 years later, or whatever that is now, right? 4.5 years later. And it gave us this sense of like, oh my gosh, we can do this anywhere. And so we went out and started behaving like we can do this anywhere because we had an initial success at doing something. And then we quickly found out, well, hold on a second. This worked amazingly well with Aaron Lebovic in Denver, Colorado.
But it works different with different people.
It works different in different markets. And we assumed that we were just the badasses when in fact, perhaps we had hired actually somebody that was just exceptional, maybe our best hire ever in a sales position,
or just
outside
the best,
of Phoenix.
Or maybe he just happens to be the best fit for us too.
Correct.
I mean, the problem is there were so many variables, and we happen to be so successful in that by any measure. 100+ units.
We went from having no real estate team to 16 months later selling over 100 units, $30 million of real estate sales volume. Going from zero real estate sales, you and I never having a real estate license in Colorado. That's pretty impressive.
Let's call that successful. And
yes.
I think that it was.
I think it was very impressive.
And what that caused us to do was go, well, shit, we now know the recipe, right? And we didn't. In fact, maybe had we stumbled a little bit more, maybe had Aaron sucked and not been so good at his part of the job, right? We did. Who knows if we even did good at our side of the job? We might not have done that good. Aaron might have just been a badass enough for all three of us. But maybe if we had stumbled a little bit more, we'd have figured some out things earlier that helped us have more longer term success and maybe get to a higher point faster instead of just that initial $30-60 million annually that we started doing in Denver, right? And it was good. And we didn't stop to learn. And it wasn't until we started to stumble a little bit a few years later that we had to really pause and go, okay, hold on. There's actually some things that we need to tweak here. We've now learned a few more things that we didn't know was true because we skated right past that.
Yeah, I would say don't fall in love with your success. Don't read your own press clippings, so to speak. The danger there is not that you shouldn't be proud of your accomplishments. I'm very proud of what we did in 2014-15 with Aaron in Denver, Colorado, and continue to do today. But the problem can be that you start making some assumptions because you don't investigate at a deeper level what's actually working and not. You just look at the results and you say everything's working. Or oftentimes that's what we found ourselves doing. Going, everything's working, so let's just go do it the exact same way again. When in fact, you probably should pause and reflect the same way you would do in a failure situation. Ask, what could I do better here? What could we do differently? What maybe was a natural cause that we didn't have any impact upon? Therefore, we don't want to continue to do the same thing over and over again just because it worked one time.
Yep, I mean, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
No
so
doubt.
Anyway, examine those successes maybe just as much as you're examining your failures, and don't fall in love with your own success.